Good afternoon, gamers. Diablo 4, July 18th, patch 1.10a is out. And it's huge. It's a very large patch, guys. We're going to go over it as quickly as we can here, at least most of it. And there's some people that aren't going to be happy, I'll tell you that right now. Barbs did get nerfed. This is 100% happening. And but let's get through this. We'll get through most of it as we can. I'll leave a link down below so you can check it out as well. So we got 6 new unique items and legendary aspects. Okay, so first things first, there is one uber unique. This is a unique that very few people in the world will ever even see. Excuse me. So it's the Avarian Spear of the Lycander. It's gain a random shrine effect for 10 to 20 seconds after killing an elite mob. This can occur only once every 30 seconds. And again, they make a note right here that this is an extremely rare drop and most people will never even see it. Kind of pointless even putting it in the game, but that's my opinion. Anyhow, so the Barbs got Azeroth, which is a lucky hit. Your core skills have a chance to up to 20% chance to freeze enemies for 3 seconds, deal some damage. Druids have Flesh Render. That's one-hand maze, debilitating roar, and blood howl deal 0.5 to 1 damage to nearby poison enemies. Necromancers, they get the lidless wall. That's a lucky hit. While you have an active Bone Storm, hitting an enemy outside of Bone Storm has a 5 to 25% chance to spawn an additional Bone Storm at their location. Each of your active sacrifice bonuses increase the chance by 25%. And the total number of additional bonus storms you can have by +1. Rogues get Eagle Horn. It's a unique bow. Penetrating shot now has a 30 to 80% chance to fire an arrow. Bounces off of walls and scenery. Hitting the enemies from behind with a penetrating shot will also make them vulnerable for 3 seconds. Sorcerers. Oculus. Gain the effect of a teleport enchantment for free. When you evade using teleport enchantment, you are taken to a random location. Developers note Azeroth and Flesh Render unique items have flat damage effects that scale with power. For example, at 820 item power, the Azeroth deals between 3,359 to 6,718 damage. There are also 7 new legendary aspects. Audacity and Craven, these are general aspects. So Audacity, where there are at least 5 close enemies, stun them for 2 to 4 seconds. This can only occur once every 20 seconds. Craven, you gain 20 to 40% increased movement speed when moving away from slowed or chilled enemies, which are very close dependent Greaves, because I believe you can chill enemies and you get 24% movement speed. So if you stack that, it would be pretty good, I guess. Barbarian, Ancestral Charge, calls forth 4 Ancients, who also charge, dealing 50 to 100% of normal damage. Druid, Subterranean Offensive Aspect, Poison Creepers, active will also cast Landslide in a circle around you. Earth skills deal 10 to 20% increased damage to poison enemies. Necromancer, Gore Quills. Blood Lance will consume blood orbs to also conjure lances from them. Each additional blood lance deals 20 to 50% of normal damage and prioritizes targeting unlanced enemies. Rogues Pestilent Points. Every third cast of Puncture is poison imbued with 100 to 150% of normal potency. Sorcerer Searing Wards. After spending 200 to 100 mana of your next firewall is free to cast and destroys incoming small missiles. We got a huge list of bug fixes. So we got accessibility fixes, challenges fixes, cooperative play fixes, dungeon fixes. So I'm gonna, like I said, leave a link below. This is a very big patch, so you're gonna have to go and check some of these out if there's something specific you're looking for. For gameplay, we got Barbarians, top of the list here. You guys got slammed, boys. So Barbarians fixed an issue where the number of enemies to defeat for Barbarian class quest Master Battle was not displayed. Fixed an issue where Iron Maelstrom could be cast more than 3 times rapidly, casting Warcry. Fixed an issue where stacking the Berserking, Ripping, Skullbreaker, and Anima aspects would allow the player to deal extreme amounts of damage. Fixed an issue where the outer edge of the quakes granted to the Hammer of Ancients via the aspect of Ancestral Echoes was dealing far more damage than it was intended. Developers note we recognize this adjustment is a significant decrease to the Hammer of Ancients Barbarian build, but we do want its strength to be reliant on an underlying bug. Druids fixed an issue where Earth skills and Pulverized skill will consume 2 overpower buffs simultaneously. Fixed an issue where the bonus effect on Bloodhowl from Night Howler's aspect would apply twice to Wolf Companions, but not for all Ravens. Fixed an issue where Provocation passive stacks wouldn't update properly after adding more points to it. Fixed an issue where automatic transformation from the Insatiable Fury would cause the Urshan Strength key passive not to proc consistently. Fixed an issue where the enhanced Pulverized buff would not remove itself while in town. Fixed an issue where Seeking Tornadoes produced by Storm Chaser's aspect would not deal damage. Fixed an issue where Raven's passive damage did not improve after the skill was upgraded. Fixed an issue where Rabies would deal no more damage while standing very close to an enemy. Fixed an issue where Stormclaw's aspect allowed Shred to do extreme amounts of damage. So yet another nerf right there, guys. Necromancers. Fixed an issue where Necromancers could not obtain daggers from the Purveyor of Curiosity. Fixed an issue where Necromancer's minions would have their light bonuses deactivated while in time. Fixed an issue where the Bone Spear cast through Chilling Wind from an enemy elite would increase the number of generated echoes for that cast. Fixed an issue where enhanced Bone Spear could not cause erratic movement. Or could cause erratic movement, sorry. And then canceling Blood Mist when it's already off cooldown would immediately recast it. Rogues. Shadow Step wouldn't trigger the aspect of the Uncanny Treachery if the target was killed. Advanced Penetrating Shot would not knock down other players in PvP play. Twisting Blades would not come back when the ability killed a bloated Corpse Fiend enemy. Dash skill would not move the full distance if targeted enemy while using a controller. The Eldritch Bounty Paragon node granted bonuses resistances incorrectly. Rapid Fire had an extra arrow VFX that behaved erratically. Awakened Glyph Stones wouldn't spawn for rogue players using improved barrage. So sorcerers, Firebolt enchantment effect did not contribute to the combustion key passive. Fixed an issue where the passive stacks generated by the Align the Elements partially reset in an unexpected way. Fixed an issue where Deep Freeze would prevent the Egg Shards enchantment from effect from triggering. Fixed an issue where the aspect of control was applying its damage bonus 3 times for staggered bosses. So I think that might be an issue there. Gravitational aspect was appearing weaker on two-handed weapons or amulets. Enchantment effect for Chain Lightning had no visuals tracking bonus and could also unexpectedly drop off. Incinerate would immediately cost 30 mana when cast in addition to consistent channeling mana cost. Incinerate now properly costs only mana as it's being channeled. So those are the main character fixes there. We got a bunch of other fixes here, items and aspects. They got a bunch in there as well. So I would definitely go check these out. Some with the Helltides, Fields of Hatred. Nothing specific that it's standing right out to me right here. Excuse me. But as you can see, like it's just massive fix after fix after fix, which does really show how bad the game has been in its current state, where if they have to fix this many issues on each patch. So we've got more fixes down here, and then we got loading screen updates. Yay. So gameplay updates, guys. General Altar of Lilith unlocks are now account wide. Map discovery is now account wide. Whispers will no longer reward sigil dust. Okay. Overall loot quality has been significantly improved for silent chests. That's those chests that you run around the world. You got to use 20 key or a key. Cost you 20 obels to get. Channel time for leave dungeon ability has been increased from 3 to 5 seconds. We have generally reduced the tendency for many monsters to move around in combat, so that melee characters don't have to chase down their enemies as much. Okay, that's alright. PS5 DualSense Edge wireless controller support for the PC. So World Tier 2 has had the following bonuses added. Bonus gold increased from 10 to 20%. Monsters now drop 15% items. We like World Tier where World Tier has we like where World Tier 2 has landed overall, but we're increasing its reward pace to better align with its difficulty. Level scaling inside dungeons and most overall territories has been adjusted in World Tiers 3 and 4. Monsters will begin to trail behind the player in level after a certain point, up to a maximum of 5 levels behind. This change does not affect world bosses, legion events, fields of hatred, hell tides, or nightmare dungeons. We want to give players a better sense of their power progression and mastery over the world while still challenging themselves with structured endgame activities. Now you need endgame activities to have them structured, so let's get that. World Tier 3 example, if the player's level is 55, monster's level is 55. If the player's level is 56 to 60, the monster's level is 55. If the player's level is 61, the monster's level is 56. If the player's level is 62, the monster's level is 57, etc. From this point, the monsters will always be minus 5 from the World Tier 3's max monster level of 70. World Tier 4 examples. Players level 75, monsters 75. Players 76 to 80, monsters level 75. Players 81 to... if the player's level is 81, monster's level is 76. Player's level is 82, monster's level is 77. So it's always going to be minus 5. So remember that. Reward experience for completing Whispers in World Tiers 3 and 4 have been significantly increased. They did this last time. They said they did. We have observed that the experience bonus reward for killing higher level monsters escalates too fast when compared to relative challenge evolve. We still want to reward players for taking on this challenge by encouraging them to participate in power leveling together instead of one player killing enemies while another member of the party waits at the dungeon's entrance. So they're adjusting bonus experience rewards for killing monsters that are higher level than the player. Preseason of malignant bonuses level higher 15%, levels higher plus 20%, levels higher plus 25%. So here's our speed boost, guys. At least that's how I read it. 1 second. Excuse me. Postseason of malignant, 1.5 bonus per level up to 10 levels. Example, plus one level, 1.5%, plus 2 levels, plus 3%, plus 10 levels, 15%. We're also adjusting the experience rewards for monster levels offsets for higher world tiers. Current world tier level offsets, World 2 are plus 3, World 3 is plus 10, and World 4 is up to 100. We're changing this to World 2. Tier 2 is plus 3, unchanged. World Tier 3 is plus 6, and World Tier 10 is plus 10. And then, for example, if your friends bring you to World Tier 4 and leave you at the entrance of a dungeon and start killing level 100 monsters prior to their season malignant, you get level 100 monsters XP times 1 point plus 25%. After the season, you're not going to get that. You're going to get level 11 monster XP and 1 plus 15%. So, yeah. Bye-bye. No more farming like that. No more level gaining. So, yeah. That's not fun. Blizzard, I don't know what the hell you guys are doing, but you really need to get your shit together. Hell type monsters are now 3 level higher than the players instead of 2. So, yay. You're gonna lose your stuff more. Tortured Mystery Chests has had its cost increased to 250 cinders now from 175. Oh my god. All interactable objects in the Helltide zones have a small chance of dropping outright centers. This is... What the hell? My god. Alright. We got a whole bunch of balance updates, guys. Yeah, it's a big patch, guys. So just bear with me. We're going through it as much as we can here. We're trying to get to only the important stuff. You know what? I'm actually not going to make you guys read through this. There's a lot of balance changes. You guys need to go through. Check these out. It's huge. Okay? But generals... aspects of disobedience, maximum stacks reduced from 100 to 60. So basically, you know what? I'm going to see a lot. Basically, I can just tell you right now. It's nerf, 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 nerf. So there's a lot of them, guys. Check it out. See what you got. See what you have to do. See how your characters play. There's no longer... This is actually a nice change. There's no longer a limit to how many materials you can find in higher materials all at once. Item affixes. Many affixes are too efficient and are outshining alternatives. We're looking to refine the outliers, improve the number of meaningful choices on competitive slots, and increase the overall flexibility of items. We know these changes will reduce the total amount of possible power a character can possess, so we will be monitoring how these changes affect players' ability to conquer expected milestones. So they're increasing the availability of the affixes below to make them easier to include in different builds. So control impairment duration reduction now appears on pants. Barrier generation can appear on all classes. Begin dropping later in the game. Lucky a chance while you have a barrier. Appear for all classes, reduced by 12% on helm and 20% when on helm or offhand. Mastery skill damage. Newly added can appear on sorcerer weapons. Scales identically to core skill damage. Resistance to all elements can now appear on shields. Which I don't understand. Resistances are broken in this. So unless they fix that in this one here, but we'll find out. Developers note core stat bonus on weapons has been overperforming. So we're pulling back on this bonus, guys. Was 50% on weapons, now it's 25%. 50% on weapons, now 25% for dexterity and strength. 50%. All of them just got reduced by half. Yeah. Cooldown reduction affixes have often felt mandatory due to the raw power. We imagine cooldown reduction will remain a highly desirable stat, but the penalty for not prioritizing won't be as harsh. Cooldown reduction reduced by 30%. Imbuement skill reduction reduced by 30%. Draft skill reduction reduced by 30%. Critical strike damage, vulnerable damage, often viewed as hard requirement for build success in Diablo 4. We believe this is a step towards allowing more builds to flourish and will make changes in support of this goal. Critical strike damage has been reduced by 17%. Lightning critical strike damage reduced by 17%. Critical strike damage with bone, earth, imbued werewolf skills reduced by 17%. And vulnerable damage, boys and girls, reduced by 40%. Jesus Christ. Ugh. I don't know what's going on with these guys. Okay, moving on. Developers note disparities in inherent affixes can rule some weapons out before the rest of their stats are even rolled. These are receiving harsher reductions than normal affix counterparts to increase weapon flexibility. Cooldown reduction and offhands reduced by 35%. Critical strike damage and inherent on swords reduced by 50%. Vulnerable damage reduced by 65% on crossbows. Damage bonus to crowd controlled enemies was overperforming. That got nerfed too today, guys. Crowd control. Yeah. Crowd control enemies decreased by 30%. Frozen enemies increased by 20%. We got a little buff there. All right. Skillful players are frequently slaughtering monsters money levels above their own. We want to support this, but our current situation is beyond what we believe is correct. The long-term health of the game. To chase this goal, we are shifting power to many offensive fixes from defensive fixes. We know this will make our in-game content more deadly, particularly for those chasing our pinnacle boss, and an encounter that was not meant for the faint of heart. Overcoming the pinnacle boss will take every ounce of you can muster. Basically, you'll take it. The only way you can pretty much do it right now is cheese the hell out of it. So, yeah, at least from most videos, I've yet to see a video where somebody has done that without cheesing it, without getting it to stagger and pounding the hell out of its health. So if somebody could show me that video, I would love to see it. Where they actually do it legitimately. And not where the barb that actually sits there and just face tanks it all. I want to see somebody actually do it just by dodging everything. All right. So we got a whole bunch here. There's a whole bunch of skill damages have been increased. Damage reductions. Nerfs increase. So there's a whole bunch, guys. So the list is huge. Check it out below, okay? And tell me what you think of the patch notes below. I'm gonna go check out the forums because I think that they're gonna be alight with a bunch of wonderful comments, and I think it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, until then, guys, it's Latimer here. I'm on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Come check me out. And until then, guys, keep gaming, all right?